Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the, what month is it? October? Yes. Board of Nursing meeting. We're going to start with an informational video about participating in virtual board meetings.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras.
Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Good morning. It is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Before we get started and I call the meeting to order, I have some additional information about participating in board meetings. If you wish to submit written testimony on any agenda item to any Board of Nursing meeting, please provide your testimony in writing by email at nursing@dcca.hawaii.gov or by hard copy mail to the address listed in the agenda. We do request submission of the testimony at least 24 hours prior to the meeting to ensure that it can be distributed to board members. As it pertains to virtual board meetings, if you're attending by internet, to view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to provide your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You can fill in this field with any entry in a standard email format. Excuse me. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chair asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen. To indicate that you wish to provide testimony about an agenda item, the chair will individually enable each testifier to unmute your microphone. When recognized by the chair, please unmute your microphone before speaking and then mute when you are finished speaking. If you are attending by phone, you will have audio-only access. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate that you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your telephone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chair, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your telephone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you're finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself again. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If the connection to the virtual meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. The information for the rescheduled meeting will be posted to the board's website. The web address is in the agenda. And you can also read instructions to attend the State of Hawaii virtual board meetings online. With that, I'm going to take a roll call of board members. My name is Carrie Oliveira. I'm the chair. I am present. Sherry Shields Hansen.
Present.
Bradley Kuo.
Present.
Rebecca Moore.
Present.
Terrence Artani.
Present and alone.
Thank you very much. Darren Dunbar is excused, as well as Jill Riggs, our vice chair. We do have a quorum, so the meeting is called to order. All right, we will begin with the chair's report announcements. I have no announcements. All right. We'll move on then to the next agenda item, which is agenda item number 3, approval of the open and executive session minutes from the September 4th, 2025 meeting. Bradley Quo did find a non-substantive edit on page 11 of the open session minutes, which I will provide to the EO after the meeting. Other than that, are any changes or edits that folks want to make? If we do want to discuss any changes to the exec session, we can call an executive session to discuss them there. Seeing none, hearing none, is there a motion to accept the minutes with the non-substantive revisions? Approved. That motion? So moved. Okay, is there a second?
Bradley, I'll second.
Okay, that was a motion from Rebecca, a second from Bradley. Does any board member wish to vote no, recuse yourselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries. The minutes are approved. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to hand the next agenda item number 4, the RICO advisory committees, to the EO.
Yes, so the term of the current roster of permanent advisory committee members, or ACMs, that assist RICO with investigations will end at the end of December. So they have sent us a list, confidential, for the board's consideration at this meeting. I have shared with you all the lists, which again is confidential. So if the chair would like to move into executive session to discuss, we can do that.
Okay,
I have no concerns.
I don't have any concerns about the list either.
Have any concerns?
Anybody have any
No.
concerns?
No.
We don't need to discuss. So we just approve the list. Is that a motion? Do we need a motion for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we need a motion. So I would move to approve the updated list of, what are they? The Regulated Industries Complaints Office Advisory Committee members for the Board of Nursing.
This is Bradley, I'll second.
As a second, does any board member wish to vote no, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries. Man, you guys are efficient today. Go team. All right, next update is, next agenda item is, sorry, I haven't been asking for testimony. Would any public member like to provide testimony on any of the agenda items that we have already addressed? Thank you. Okay, so agenda item number 5 is remote proctoring of the NCLEX. I'm gonna hand this one also to the DO.
So this was actually brought to our attention by Darren, who unfortunately is not here right now. But he brought a really good point that NCSBN has announced and has been planning to launch and roll out remote proctoring for the NCLEX. Initially, they were hoping to launch this in early 2026. But now it looks like the date will be shifting to a later time, which they haven't shared yet. So I just wanted to bring this into the meeting today to see if anyone has any questions, have heard of any updates from your end. And I did share a summary of keynotes. Yeah, and that includes everyone on the call as well, any public testimony to bring forward.
Questions, comments? This is consistent with our report from the annual meeting that just happened. So there was no update. I did follow up. So yes, they're no longer updating us to the anticipated date of the rollout, but it's still in progress. So any other?
Yeah, so some concerns to consider is academic integrity as well as cybersecurity. But on the other hand, the pros are access and equity so that folks who can't travel to a testing center, such as, nursing students in Kauai, having to fly all the way here to Honolulu to take the test is not the most accessible. And that goes for any other nursing student or test taker in rural parts of the mainland. And this is also it's also good for folks who just can't leave their house for any reason. But again, the main concerns that were brought forward were cybersecurity concerns, privacy, if the test taker can't find a space that is quiet and where they can be alone to take the test uninterrupted.
So the couple of things I'll add in response to that, the part of the reason that it's taking NCSBN longer than anticipated to roll out is because their primary concern is security. They own the NCLEX. They have a giant, massive test bank of questions. Their top priority is making sure that the test is psychometrically sound and that it is secure. So they're not going to do anything that's going to compromise the security of the exam from their perspective. So making sure that maintaining security of the test questions themselves, but also they don't want cheating. That's a concern. So part of all of the work that they're doing is a lot of the technology and the AI to support, like, you should have said, I think it was mid-year meeting or annual meeting 2 years ago, but like the demonstration of like where the eyeballs and whatnot, like you'd see like a big shadow of a person in another room behind a curtain kind of a thing, is how well the AI is working. And so all of that technology is being baked into the way the test is administered. So NCSBN is probably more concerned about the security of the exam than anybody else is. So they won't roll it out before they're sure that it's safe. So just wanted to reassure you guys about that. I think I had one other thought, but it's gone now. So yes, Bradley, thoughts? No? Okay. Cool. I don't care. I don't care. This is going to be a big thing for access. I will say that there was a bill last year moving through the legislature. That was some like bizarre kind of thing to try to get Pearson VUE to open test centers on the neighbor islands. In light of the pushback on the date, I would expect that that might be revisited. But again, the legislature can't make a private company do anything. And there is no, I want to be very clear. I said this before and I'll say it again. There is no process by which a organization can petition or apply to be an NCLEX testing site, a Pearson VUE owned and operated testing site, which is one of the things that was in the bill last year. It was like, oh, we're going to facilitate application submissions. It's not a thing. So I just wanted to like make the board aware of that in case we were asked to provide testimony on a piece of legislation that comes around about access to the NCLEX in light of this.
And the next thing about that is the numbers in our state of testing is not gonna allow for anyone to make any money.
Correct.
So it's just, it is what it is. And in other states too, you have to travel.
Yeah.
So it's not unique to us. It's unique that we have to take a
Right.
Right. But like my students ex-students in Santa Barbara, California, it's a 2.5 hour drive to LA.
Right.
So
There are some places where the closest testing site is in Canada. Like for United States people, like driving into Canada is if it's, yes, so this is not unique to Hawaii. This problem is not unique to us. Darn, there was something else you said. I read that noise is really distracting to me, so I'm having a little hard time. My brain is not quick.
yeah, just because we have to take a plane.
Yes, yes. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention about Pearson VUE is Pearson VUE has 500 clients worldwide. So it's not just NCSBN, right? So they make business decisions.
Sorry.
So they're not going to make decisions just on the basis of how many nursing students are going to take an exam. It's on the basis of how many test takers across all of their clients they have in a specific region. So there's a multitude of business variables that are going to impact whether or not Pearson VUE opens a testing center. So there's that. Hello, Darren. Darren Dunbar has joined us at whatever time it is right now.
9:15.
Cool. All right. So any other discussion on the matter of the NCLEX? Darren, you just got here. We're talking about the NCLEX. So I don't know if you wanted to, we were just talking about NCSBN's priority being security about the exam and
Remote proctoring.
yeah, remote proctoring. Okay. So I don't know if you wanted to, if you had any thoughts you wanted to share on that.
Sure.
Okay.
I didn't know until last week, I think, when I was talking to Alex, that people from outer islands had to come to Oahu to take their test. So I'm certainly supportive of that. I will share a personal concern of people being able to take it in their home, despite, I know there's technology out there that can help secure that. Is way in.
Cool. Yes, security is important. Okay, anything else? Fabulous. So that will conclude agenda item number 5. And so now we're on to agenda item number 6, which is the EO's report.
Yes, and as we've seen, or as you all have seen, probably in this past year, with all the proclamations linked to wildfires, there is a new one that just went into effect on September 11th and continues through November 10th, 2025. And there's really nothing new in there. It's the same as before, for, our board. It lists the requirements for out-of-state nurses with unencumbered licenses to come in and work for any Hawaii medical facility without having to come through the board.
Okay.
So
Yes.
on that note, what is your sense of the nursing community? Do a lot of out-of-state nurses use this EP pathway to come in?
As far as I've been advised, no. The employers are reluctant, at least the ones that we've talked to, that when we talk to them during the CNO meetings, they're reluctant to hire folks who don't have licenses because there's a sufficient supply between being able to bring in travelers and the availability of the workforce in the state. There's not an immediate necessity for most employers to hire folks who don't have nursing licenses, is the sense that I have. I don't, you guys are actually in the environment, so if you have different information than that, please let me know.
Same. At Queens, we require travelers to have a state license. Because of how many people that were out here during COVID, we have many return travelers who got a license then, maybe because of the proclamation, but ended up getting the full license and then keeping it renewed. So we're at about less than a fourth of the number of travelers we had at the peak of COVID. Peak was 437, we're at 113, so about a fourth. But we require all the travelers must have a license, even to apply. They can't even apply for our positions without a license. So if they're that interested in coming, they make sure that they have that I dotted and T crossed first.
When you said that the EPs were being used for temporary permits or,
No.
okay. So
It was
temporary,
used in lieu of temporary permits.
I'm sorry?
In lieu of temporary permits,
Oh,
because
okay.
normally the procedure or the requirement is for out-of-state nurses, once you come to Hawaii and work for short term, to apply for a temporary permit.
Okay.
But with the proclamation, they don't need to do that as long as they have an unencumbered license from out of state, yeah.
So if I heard you correctly, most of the out-of-state or travel nurses are using the temporary permit pathway, or they got to the full
They have to have a
license?
full license.
Oh, okay.
To come to us. That wasn't the case during COVID,
Okay.
but now.
And the 113 number is those nurses who are from out of state that did get a full Hawaii license.
To clarify the 113, I'm glad you asked. 113 is our total number of travelers at all of Queens locations, so 5 different campuses, and about 60 of the 113 are nurses. The other are imaging, respiratory therapies, those kind
Oh,
of.
wow. We are back. So sorry for that hideous technological interruption. We expect, anyway, for that not to continue. We will terminate the meeting quickly should something like that resume. So thank you for rejoining us. We appreciate it. We were on, I don't even know where on the agenda we were. Oh, we were talking about the wildfire proclamation. Nothing has changed. Was there anything else that you wanted to provide thoughts on with respect to that agenda item? Okay. Fantastic. Sorry? Oh, would any member of the public like to provide testimony on the matter, the agenda item of the wildfire proclamation?
Thank you, Chair. There is no one requested to provide public testimony.
Thank you, Julie. All right, we're gonna move on to agenda item number 7, which is reports from Hawaii nursing organizations. I know that there will not be a report from the Hawaii State Center for Nursing today, FYI. So let's go ahead and bring Elizabeth Kahakua and Jeremy Creekmore over to provide the reports for the respective organizations.
Would you like me to this one or?
Yeah, you can bring both in.
Aloha and good morning.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi, this is Elizabeth from the Hawaii American Nurses Association, and quite a morning this morning. So I just wanted to say we had our conference on Saturday, and I had the privilege to meet the marvelous Carrie Oliveira there. So thank you for attending.
Thank you.
We had a great conference. It was lots of engagement. We had lots of out-of-town speakers that were very engaging and exciting. We have some new election results for you. So we have our president-elect, Haley DeForest, our secretary, Darsha Lee. And all of these will start January 1st, the term. We just have our elections now. Darsha Lee is the secretary. Neighbor Island director will be Ruth Lee Clearwater. Director at large will be Kara Gormont and Jessica Nishimoto. They're carrying over their terms. And our nominating committee, we have Katie Kemp and Chanel Daludong that will be joining the nominating committee next year. We gave out some Nursing Excellence Awards this year. We started that back up, and we have Jolene Murillo, a Distinguished Direct Patient Care Award. She works at Navian, Hawaii. Foundations of Nursing Practice Award, and Sharn Horse. She works in Maui. And Public Health Service Award, Sandra Bourget Henry. She works at Chaminade. And the Hawaii ANA Overall Excellence in Nursing Award went to Marlene Jose, who works at Shriners Children's Hawaii. We have a Kuleana survey out. We're trying to get feedback from all Hawaii nurses, whether they're Hawaii ANA members or not, just to get feedback on what they would like us to take to legislation this year and what interests what keeps them up at night, basically, what they would like the politicians to kind of look at and what legislative they want us to focus on. I also wanted to promote, we're having a lunch and learn on October 17th at Mangiamo's at 6:04 by Dr. Pat Nishimoto. She'll be doing a speech on patients' perceptions of compassionate nursing care. She's an award-winning oncology nurse. So please go to our website if you'd like to join us for that. Other than that, do you have any other questions for me?
Elizabeth, just one question about your Kuleana survey. Is that for all nurses? That's nurses in Hawaii are eligible?
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Any board members have questions for Elizabeth? That was a very nice conference y'all put on.
Thank you.
for the
Thank you so much.
opportunity. Thank you so much. All right. And that concludes Elizabeth's report. Let's hear from Jeremy from Happen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Sorry, my camera is off today. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're good, Jeremy.
Okay, thank you. So it's election season for us as well. So we'll be putting out the ballot very, very soon to vote. Also for our leadership award, nominations are open. I believe that the deadline for nominations for the Happen Leadership Award is going to be through October 14th, if I'm not mistaken. Please visit our website, happenhawaii.org. For more info, or please feel free to reach out to myself or any members of the board. We're still tracking some things that have come up nationally and locally regarding scope. I'm not going to get into too much detail with that because they're still fairly new, but just know that Happen is tracking some things that are happening, and if need be to take action, we will. Our big thing, I wanted to talk briefly about the exclusionary formulary. This was something that we collaborated with a couple of years ago. And I know that a lot of stuff has happened over the past couple of years. So just wanted to re-engage and see if we could look at the possibility of getting that moved forward as well. Once again, I appreciate the opportunity to come and check in with you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I'll stand by for questions.
Thanks, Jeremy. Any questions or comments from Jeremy? As it relates to the exclusionary formulary, for those of you who are unaware, it's attached to the administrative rules, and it basically provided some additional parameters for how APRNs with prescriptive authority were allowed to prescribe. It's been at least 2 years, I want to say, since the board has opined that the exclusionary formulary is no longer necessary. And so it's just a matter of a rules revision to remove reference from the exclusionary formulary in the HAR. So functionally, the board has previously opined on this, but it is confusing apparently for APRNs because some of the formulary provides limitations around the prescription of hormones, which can be very challenging depending on what kind of population you're serving. So that is something that I think we have lots of rules that we'd like to revise. So that would definitely be top of the priority list for me anyway on any rule revision. So just as an FYI.
We actually, we have a document already prepared. I could send that over to the board if they would like.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
Sounds good. Thank you guys again.
Thank you. Have a great day. Any other testimony on those two reports from the public? Thank you. I just want to pause here and say to DCCA, for those of you who have to work in this building, I'm astounded at your capacity to endure through the noise outside right now. So thank you for bearing with us through all of that. All right, we are on to agenda item number 8, which is applications for nurse licensure. In order to deal with the confidential information contained in those reports and to consult with our attorney on the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities pursuant to HRS 92-4 and 92-5. I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session. Is there a second?
Bradley, second.
Thank you so much, Bradley. We have a second. Does any board member wish to vote no, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? All right. No. Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it. The motion carries. We are in exec.
Start with a question about the resignation list.
Who's this DP person?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
So which one?
DP?
Wasn't that the one earlier?
They just entered.
On their own.
They're in the waiting room though.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
No caffeine for the rest of the day. Good to go.
Okay, we're back. I think we're back. We're back. Awesome. All right, we're gonna resume our agenda where we left off, which is on agenda item number 8, which is applications. Is any?
Yeah.
Oh, Terrence is missing. There he is. It's like we can't vote without him. Okay, does any person want to provide testimony on the agenda item of applications?
Thank you, Chair. There is no one requesting fine public testimony.
Thank you, Julie. All right, that said, I would like to make a motion to approve the ratification list for LPNs, RNs, and APRNs and temporary permits as were attached to the agenda for this meeting. Is there a second?
Second, yes.
Darren seconds. Does any board member wish to vote no, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it. The motion carries. All right. Is there a motion related to the application for the registered nursing license for Robin Lynn Rose?
This is Bradley. I move to accept the application. Approve, sorry.
Bradley moves to approve. Is there a second? Sherry Shields Hansen seconds that motion. Does any board member wish to vote no, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Okay, item number 2 under APRNs is not actually an application for licensure. It is a request to add, let me get it right, the Certified Addictions Registered Nurse Advanced Practice. Those words are out of order.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
completely not in English syntax. I'd like to have a discussion about this one, if we may. So right now, pursuant to 1689-81, the Hawaii nursing regulation acknowledges 4 certifications for advanced practice registered nurses: the certified nurse practitioner, certified registered nurse anesthetist, clinical nurse specialist, and
What?
midwives, certified nurse midwives. And those are the only 4. So there's no other reference in the regulation, either in the rules or the laws, to attach additional specialty certifications to either an APRN license or an RN license. So, I just wanted to make
Was that
that
a
note. Yes.
Clarification on the NP one, there are.
Types of NP.
Right.
Yes.
They're described, but yeah.
So the population foci.
Clinical
That's correct.
Yes.
Anesthesia, there's only one exam, but NP, there's various types.
CNSs, yes. NPs and CNSs will also have the certifications indicate their population foci. You can't be certified generally as either one of those. It's specific. So the certification accounts for that. There's no other indication for a specialty certification outside of those 4 major roles. So given the fact that there's not really a regulatory basis for attaching additional certifications, I think we should not do that. Does anybody have any discussion on this? Anybody like to add anything to the conversation?
This is Terrence.
Yes, Terrence.
I just want to say as the public member that adding certification may confuse the general public.
Like, I want to know that I'm looking at an APRN, right? I know for sure it's an APRN.
Exactly. And you start adding all these certificates on, it's going to just be more confusing. Thank you.
Thank you, Terrence. I appreciate that comment. So why we have public members? Say something. Darren.
I'll just point out also, this person is a licensed APRN and 2 specialties already.
Yes.
Which does not limit their ability to prescribe with the certified addictions piece. I'm also a
Yes.
RN AP and a family nurse practitioner and a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner with no expectation that the additional certification is placed on my license. To me, that is additional training that provides additional education and acknowledgement. But I'm also an aesthetic nurse, nurse practitioner, but I have many trainings and certifications under that.
Right.
I don't expect those to be behind my name or be on my license.
Right. And I appreciate the point you're making is that this particular certification provides additional competencies. It enhances an APRN's ability to practice as an FNP or a psych NP, whatever they happen to be. Nothing precludes them from indicating that they have this certification as part of their credentials. So there's no impact to practice for us not attaching the certification to the license.
Correct.
We want to be very clear about that. Rebecca.
And I worry that attaching this certification to her license will open up doors to opening attaching
Correct.
certifications to all licenses.
I would 100% agree with that being a reasonable expectation, which again, no regulatory basis for doing, no statutory basis for doing. Anybody else want to say anything on the matter? That said, is there a motion as it relates to this request to add the Karn AP certification to an A parent license? I'm gonna move that we not. Is there a second?
The second, Terrence.
There were 4 of you who seconded that motion, so I will take Darren's because this was the loudest first. So that's a motion and a second. And does any board member wish to vote no, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries. All right, the final agenda item is our next meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. The final agenda item is adjournment. The second to the next one is our next meeting will be held November 6th. Same time, same place. Are we expecting to also have an education committee meeting that same day? So there will be an education committee meeting to follow that. And with that, we are concluded and adjourned. Mahalo nui, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.